What's going on, everyone? Kurt Weidner here in the Team Animal Training Compound, wrapping up a Sunday morning workout. Throwing hip thrusts in as part of my workout, some supplementary work. I had a recent post on Instagram that talking about the benefits of hip thrusts, the importance of having powerful hip extension that translates into almost every athletic endeavor. Obviously, it's going to help your squats and your deadlifts. And I had some kind of questions about the setup on it. It can be a little bit of an awkward exercise if you're not used to it. So I want to take a few minutes and just talk about, proper setup so that it can be comfortable. So the first thing, it's obviously favorable to have a pad like this to put on the bar. When you do that, first of all, make sure that it's centered and that the gap part stays up, because the bar can easily spin on you and you can effectively end up with no padding. All right. So first thing to think about is your back and shoulder positioning. So when I get on here, if you want to look at where this is, my shoulder blades are actually above the bench, so I can actually dig my shoulder blades in here. If I'm just like that, where I have just like the edge of my shoulders, I'm not going to get enough leverage to move any weight. So I actually kind of almost want to hook my shoulder blades on the, whatever the bench is that I'm using. Okay, second thing, make sure this is centered. I can see both edges of the knurling, and I want to make sure that this bar is centered on me. It's easy, especially when you start doing sets where you actually have the bar lopsided, and if you go to do it, it's going to feel really wonky if you're, 6 inches this way or that way, okay? Third thing, if you're a guy, make sure that you don't put the bar directly on your junk, because that's not going to feel good, especially if you get several hundred pounds on there. So I'm going to roll this in, and the initial placement is kind of in that inguinal groove. So I'm going to get that in there, and then what I want to do, one of the next most important things is foot placement. Okay, so I want to get my feet far enough in. And what's going to happen is I'm going to initially have to push this up a little bit so then I can then set my feet. If you have your feet too far out, once again, you're not going to be in a really good position to get good drive from your heels. So if I lift this up a little bit and then I can set my feet further in, if you have your feet way out here, you're not going to get as powerful a drive. So I want to bring them in a little bit. Okay, make sure I'm nice and sturdy, and then control drop, and then I'm driving straight up, squeeze to the top. Okay, now the last thing, and this is important as far as comfort, when I said you're going to start with the bar in that groove, okay, but you'll notice I put my hands here. As I come up, I actually kind of want to push the bar, and the reason that's important is you start using more weight. What that means is in my finishing position here, okay, it's the actual weight is sitting more on the top of my quad, okay, where it kind of ties in. If I don't do that, it's then sitting on my bone. You can get away with that up to about a certain point, but once you get like 300-400 pounds on there, if you have that sitting directly on your bone, it's not going to be comfortable, and it's going to limit how much you can do. This is an exercise you can do heavy. Your glutes are huge, powerful muscles, so you actually want to do a lot of weight on this. So again, just to demonstrate that, I'm set here. As I drive it up, I'm kind of pushing it down. So the bar is effectively probably traveling that way at least 2 inches, so that when I'm starting, it's here in my groove, and then when I'm finishing, it's actually sitting on this muscle, which is comfortable. If you have it sitting here at the top and all that, and you get hip extension at the top and it's sitting right on your bones, that's not going to feel comfortable. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comments below. Send me a message. Like and subscribe. Get after it. Have a great one, everyone.